All right, can you see the screen now? Are we seeing the screen? All right.
Yes, sir.
Were we able to watch the recording of the class?
No, sir.
You have not seen the YouTube?
Okay, no, sir. Our power has been fluctuating. Our power is faulty in my area, so I just came to church to chat because of the class.
Okay.
Not really been on.
All right, the YouTube is there. This class was supposed to be short discussions from what you have seen on the YouTube. Because you have not gotten it, I think we will start with the discussion we are supposed to have from sources, right? Kainde,
Sir.
You were supposed to brief us on something on cruise in Lagos.
Okay, yes.
So what was your findings about that? That's where we are starting the class today.
Okay, I think the question was why is it functioning in Lagos and not in other states? Abi?
Yes.
Yes, that was it. In Lagos, there is water network.
Okay.
It's actually large, and the civilization, because from Sandfield, they call the place Sandfield, if you know Lagos very well.
Okay.
From Sandfield to maybe to Ikorodu, to make it faster, there are ferries, small ferries and large ferries. I think the smaller ones take like maybe 10 to 20 people at a time or so. It goes for like 1,000 naira once thereabouts. It's been months. I think it's earlier this year I used it. So I don't know how much they are taking it presently.
Okay.
It will still be the same price or higher than that. But that one is faster, the smaller one. Then there is bigger one that goes for 800 naira. That one can take like 50 to 100 people at a time, but it's slower compared to the smaller one. So there is from there to Falomo, from there to Ikoyi, different places in Lagos. So I think the reason why that is actually functioning in Lagos and it is not in other states is one, all the 36 states in Nigeria, let me say 80% of them, they don't really have the water network that Lagos has. Okay. Though I've not really been to the east to actually explore the place, but let's use River State as an example. I'm very sure there is water there, but I don't know if the water network is as big as the one in Lagos. Even if we make researches well and go into some villages in some states in Nigeria, there will definitely be water, because there's a water they just found out in those states, I think like 2 or 3 years ago, is a beach, Alaromi Beach in area. And the people there, they don't really know that, okay, this type of beach that is in Lagos. So that beach is just baby, and they're not really using it for making money purpose yet, because I actually plan to, when we get up there and all of that, meeting all these people and all, it should be part of what should be attracting people to that state in particular. And on bike, from that water to Lagos, like 45 minutes on bike, because I have friends that do this travel and tours, adventures and all of God, they tried it and all. So I think the reason why there is no cruise there is because one, civilization. Two, people don't really know that there is so place that is existing. Especially in some villages, I'm very sure there will be a lot of places that there will be water just like Lagos, but because researches are not yet there yet, so we don't know. And then even if researches get there, before we go through the government, okay, let's put this. And mind you, 50% of boats in Lagos, they are private, especially for boat cruise, just not for transportation now, just to cruise around the water, the Atlantic Ocean, and see, go to maybe Lashe area and come back to just see how the water is, or do party. There are some of these ships that you can bring in DJs. People do birthday parties, ferries, people do naming ceremony there, they bring food, they bring a lot of things after party and all of this stuff. So there are private cruises, and they start from at least 75,000 naira. There are cruises of 150,000 naira just for a day, just to go bring your group of friends, and this also amount you be taking it. Those ferries that convey from Sandfield to Ikorodu to Falomo and all other places, I think that for the government, they belong to Land Ferry. They even have a website that you can check how they work. You can check their prices, the destinations they go to. If you want to get somewhere fast and you don't want to go through Lagos traffic, so you can quickly check on their site, okay, which ferry is going from this particular place to this other place in Lagos. That actually works because there is civilization in Lagos and things. I can even say Lagos is like the New York of Nigeria because things are really, everybody is up and doing. When you get to a particular place 1 a.m., you will still get food. Unlike some places in Nigeria that when it's 9 p.m., some places in Ibadan, presently I'm in Ibadan, some places in Ibadan, when you get there 9 p.m., they close their shop. You can't compare those places to Lagos. So I think the reason why there are no boat cruises and all of that, why Lagos one is different, is because one, civilization, two, those waters, the places the waters are, they are already known. There are places that have been researched and network is there already, unlike some other states that are just trying to discover. And in this country, when you discover a social place, before you say, okay, I want it to privatize it, you must even go to government. Government that even stress you, letter of this, letter of so, letter of that. So before those other states can actually get to the level Lagos State is now at this present moment, there will be a lot of work to be done. So I think those are actually reasons why business is functioning in Lagos, because business is moving fast and is not functioning in that.
All right. Thank you very much, Kainde, for that detailed information. And that is to say that actually in the Nigerian setting, we have crews functioning. Now, but from what you said, I find out there are two types of activities that is going on the waterways in Lagos State. And that is the passenger cruise and the cruise itself. Now, the passenger transport is a means of conveying people from one place to another. That is very functional there.
Yes.
Now, we are also looking at the cruise. The cruise actually is where we are having problem. Now, understanding cruise is like you are on recreation. You are not going there to do any activity. You are just there to enjoy the place. You are just there to enjoy things happening around you. So you are not just going to sell, buy, like the party you are talking about. People in party are not actually enjoying cruise. They are there on their partying things, which we can also say is a part of tourism, because if the ship cruise or the cart is not there, that party will not be able to function. So it
Yeah.
is a very good one. I love what you have just done, and I would encourage you. I will encourage you that during your research program, during your project research, if it is possible for you, I want you to do an in-depth work on cruise, the functionality of cruise in the Nigerian waterways. It will go a lot of ways to helping the government to find out what they are going to do or how they are going to function with cruise and waterways. As you know, that the cruise system has its contribution to the development of Nigeria. But in tourism, the cruise system have actually been on the hands of the private sector, as you have said. Rema, unlock your microphone. Your microphone is not open. You will not be hearing us well. Good. So let's also be very, very emphatic about the contribution, because what we should be looking at is how is it developing tourism? How is it contributing to tourism? How is it bringing things to tourism? That is where our emphasis should be laid on. So those emphasis you made, I think is very good one, and we'll find a way to do more research and development on that area. So if it is possible for you, I would want you to do something on cruise. I want you to do something on cruise. Even if you cannot carry it as a research project, you can also do articles on it. Now you are closer to Lagos. From Ibadan to Lagos is about 2 or 3 hours journey. So if you can get to Lagos and find out the activities and how they are doing the activities, you'll be able to understand what is happening there and how to manage things yourself. And that's the only way you can see that it is functioning or it is not functioning. So that will be for that on last class. Is there anyone that has any contribution? Rema, mute your microphone. It's bringing wave. Mute your microphone. Rema, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes, mute your microphone. It's bringing in wave.
I should mute it.
Yes.
Okay.
Good. So now what we are going to do is in each of our class, we'll try to take it outside and see what we can do with it. And that's the only way you will be able to know exactly what you are dealing with. And for those of you joining the class today, you are lucky, and I think most of you registered for the course recently, because I can see it on the wall that some of you just registered for the course, but you are missing a lot. You have to be visiting the facilitation wall. All the lectures we have done is on the facilitation wall. All the recordings I have made is on the facilitation wall. Make sure you go to the facilitation wall. Make sure you click to watch all those YouTubes. Even this class, as we finish it, it goes back to the facilitation wall for those who did not attend. So try as much as you can to follow up. Then next week Saturday, we are going to increase the speed of the class. When is the exam coming?
I think the paper is what we have first. Exam is starting 9, but we have this paper on 13th.
Yes, so I am aware of that. So from next Saturday, we are going to be doing 2 classes. One will be 11 to 12 normal, and we have 3 to 4 p.m. That will help you to cover the health syllabus. The truth I will tell you today is that your question is ready. And there is no way your question will be ready and you will not cover the syllabus. You know how big this lecture note is. And your question must cover each model. So we have not finished treating the whole models as it is. We have about 3 models to look at. We are starting one of the models, the second model today. So as I divided the class, we divided it in units per unit. This unit is from each of the models. So we have just finished one model. Your class have 3 models and has about 15 units. So today we are doing the 6th unit. We'll be entering the 6th unit today. So you know how many units that is still remaining. And we must finish it before you write that exam. So next week, we are going to be having 2 live sections. And I will also publish it on your wall. We'll have 11 to 12 and 3 to 4 p.m. It's going to be stressful for me, but I have to do it so that you have no excuse not to cover up. Then the system of our class is also changing from today. I might not be able to be dwelling much on teaching each class. We are going to discuss it. That's why I said you are going to be listening to the video. Immediately I finish up with the video where I would have explained the classes, I would put it on the wall. You go to wall and take the YouTube. But what I did this week, I will also be trying to do it. As soon as I send in the YouTube, I will also try to share it for some of you that will not have access or have time to go to the facilitation wall, so that you have it in your phones. And for those of you who have also been very functional at the WhatsApp and the Telegram, I also want to say thank you. Kainde, so far you have played a very good role, and I don't know how we are going to do it. I was hoping that this week we have more people, so that we appoint who is doing what before the program elapses. There is going to be a test you are going to write, and we'll write it online. So I don't know why your friends or your people are not attending this class. I don't know how they think they are going to get their test. I don't know how they want to follow it up. But the issue is, as soon as I put test on this platform, the whole class is finished. And if you don't write that test, there is no way you can be able to make up that exam, even if you write it. Because as we are in this class, the number of people in this class is being recorded. So there is no way you will tell them, I attended the class, I got my 75% attendance, I wrote the test. The day the test will be written, you will be online. So they will know how many people that is writing the test. And whereby you didn't write, what happens? I don't know how you people are going to follow it up, but I have done everything I should do as a person. I sent email every week, twice in a week. I try to follow you people up on WhatsApp and Telegram. So it's all left for you people. If there is any other way you people want me to do it, you can also advise. All I'm trying to do is to make sure you pass.
So I want to ask.
Yes, who is talking? What is our name?
Eunice.
Eunice, okay.
What's the difference between this test you're about to give us and the TMA?
All the same.
After writing this one, are we still going to write the TMA?
The school is considering two things. The TMA is mostly to come or not to come. We have not finished it. As I said, this system you people are running now, everything is new. And because it is new, we are trying to make sure it works in two ways. Some of us write the TMA and we don't pass. Now, we want to see if you write the TMA, write the class test, is there any way you will do better from the class test than the TMA? If the answer is yes, one will be considered and the other one will be left. So for now, we have not agreed if the TMA will be phased out or you only write the online contribution test, because it's going to be timed and you know what it means. So we are trying to agree on it, but before it happens, as I said, we will know whether it's going to phase out the TMA or it will be there and the TMA will also be there. We will be completed as soon as possible. Any other question? Eunice, mute your microphone because of the children are background. Eunice, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now we go on with the class today. In your slide, you are seeing geography. You are seeing geography. So we are at this section, at this point we are today, as I said, we are going to end model 1. Today is going to be the end of model 1, which is the unit 5 from your course material, the world geography and documentation. We'll end it today. And as we are ending it, we are also going to enter the other section, which is the hospitality administration. And we'll be looking at the sales. We'll be looking at the sales administrative procedure. So these two we will start from today to look at. By next Saturday, by the time we have 2 sections, we might be able to finish the module 2. And it will be leaving us with the module 3, which we will do. So each of your class is in modules, and I try treating 2 units each of the Saturdays we meet. So today we'll be looking at geography. Already we have discussed in the video. When you watch it, it will go in details, but I'm going to look at the key points. What is actually geography? What is geography? So we will know that this is a way that the earth is studied and the people in it, how they are being studied. So there is a way everything on earth is being looked at. So they look at the development, the population, the geographical expansion, the formations. There are different formations here and there. The geographers have their ways of knowing what is these changes all about. So they consider the changes that occur upon the earth. So geography is taking us also to know the beauty of this earth we are on, and checking this, the timings, the length of time. When you are traveling, you tell yourself you have traveled so kilometers, you have walked so mile. All those things are measurements. They are scales, and it is only in geography that can tell us this. So geography is globally defined as the study of people. Because you are studying people and those who live on earth, you find out that there are things you need to do this. So in the meaning of geography, what does it actually mean? The description of the earth. The people who study this are called geographers. The people who study it are called geographers. So there are fundamental issues we need to understand on this case. So the geography, as you have observed in the introduction, is the study of earth and the people who live in it. So if it is the study of earth and the people who live in it, so we should be looking at what it contributes, what it brings into the earth. According to the Armstrong have looked at the curiosity of the geographers who are studying the continuous changing of the earth. They have also looked at the solar system. How many solar systems do we have? How many planets do we have?
9 planets.
9.
9. Good. And it has to do that the earth is one of the 9 planets, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So geographers also have find out that there is reason why the 9 planets exist and why the earth is part of it. On that note, they are studying why we have day, why we have night, when there will be sun, when there will be moon, all the changes that calculates and bring us to 1 year, 1 week, 1 month. These are the things the geographers do. So they continue studying how these things occur, what makes them to occur. That's why they will tell you there will be weather this, there will be raining in this place, there will be that in this place. So those things are their work. How does this affect tourism? How does it contribute to the tourism? You cannot be talking about the serenity of the environment without the geographers. You can't be talking about the mountains without the geographers. We have valley, we have plain, we have ditches, we have beaches. As Kainde was talking in Lagos, how do they discover that there is beach somewhere in Odo now? It's people who have been able to move. And they will not say, in Ondo, there is this. In Ondo, the geographers will begin to study. When did that beach exist? At what time did it exist? So we'll begin to study the rocks. We'll begin to study the earth. We'll begin to study the stones from the river to know the age. How long, how old is that very river? These are the things the geographies do. And by the time they are studying, to us, if that water is viable, if that water is good, it has become a point of attraction, right? It will be where people will visit. And we'll begin to do the ferry, as Kainde have said. If it is a water that have connection to another water, we'll begin to use it to do transportation. People can move from there to another location. Other activities will be done. We also look at the sightseeing event of it. That's actually what cruise talks about, the sightseeing. So how do that place contribute to the sightseeing? These are the things we need to find out. And this is why the geographers have also told us about map. We'll be looking at the map and the tables. Now, from what you are seeing on your screen, you can see that it says that maps are very useful because they show in picture form information that can often be complex to the layman. Now, if you look at the map that is there, we have the spherical map, the one you know very, very well. And we have also the spread map. These two maps are very important. Now, the spherical map, which is the one you see up, shows you the shape of the earth. And you can now see that somebody in this side will no longer be seeing the person here, but we all walk in the same time. This is where geographies will tell you that there is a movement of the earth from one system to the other, which they call the movement of the orbit. Have we heard that word before? Now, the orbit is how the earth moves. It moves in its orbit, moving from one point to the other. That is what will bring you day and night. So sometime we'll be in day, another country will be in night. This is because the earth is spherical and it also moves like that. By the time it moves, it keeps some people in the night and keeps some people in the day. So as we are waking up here today, some people are just going to bed. Now, the studying of this map is special that almost any feature on Earth that can be measured or counted can be represented. Now, when you see some of these maps, you find out that by looking at it, you are on the table, right? You are just there watching these maps. You can put it at a point and use your ruler, trade, and measure it. For those of us that did geography when they were in school, there are times they will ask you to measure a map or measure the size or the length of a road. And you use your ruler, use thread, and you trace those roads. And you begin to remove it, then you put it on a ruler to know what is the kilometer of such a road. Those are the things we learn from map. Now, you have a map. You can use map, even your Google map in your phone. For those of us that are using an Android phone, for those of us that are that have seen Uber, boat, all these transportations you use now, all of them have map. Why are they using that map? It takes them to the location they want to go. Those are the works the geographers have done. Now, the tables, you can also see, these tables present what and how it can be achieved. How are they going to achieve it? How are we going to reach where we are heading to? Because it is a formation. It is something that we must look at. It is a future. So you can touch it. You can feel it. You can see it. So those tables have different things to present. And when you are looking at them, you can now say, okay, this is where Paul is. This is where Peter is in this location. Like Sase said, she is in Ibadan. If I don't know where Ibadan is, I'll get Nigerian map and put it on the table. I will use the map and say, okay, this is Ibadan. This is where Abuja is. I'm in Abuja, this person is here. And you can see that that meter from here and to where you are is on the map. I can easily see it. Oh, this is where this person is talking to me from. This is where I am. You can see the different locations. Those are the things you see when you are using the map. Now, there are also signs in the map we need to understand. These signs, we have the legends, we have the directions, we have the arrows, and we have the map scales. Now, let's look at the title first. There is a title. Now, the title tells you what you are about to see in that very map. The title tells you exactly what information is in that map. So when you see a map and it's telling you legend, that means you are going to see these pictures. Are you seeing the pictures here?
Okay.
Now, those features, you will see airport, domestic, airport, international. You see the red cross, which shows you ambulance section, so on and so forth. All of them there are legends. They are the things showing you what you are or where you are. And sometimes when we are moving on the road, we see these signs. We don't know what they are. We don't know what they are talking about. But the maps shows us that at this point, there is this. So when you are seeing the maps, you will be seeing these signs at the map. That means if you are using map to travel, you will see these signs on that map. You know that, oh, there is a hospital here. Okay, there is a taxi stand here. I can do this here. I can do that here. This is what the map does. And the thing that does that for us is those legends or map symbols. That is what it presents. So it makes the reader know about the symbols of the map. That is for the legend. Now we have the directions. Now you can see the directions here. You have north, you have south, east, and west. Now there we also have the northwest, the northeast, we have the west, how it is broken down. The directions will show you exactly what it is. And in those directions, you also see the arrows. You also see the arrows. There's a wheel that I have there. There is one that is a pointer. A pointer will just show you the arrows showing boldly. The arrows showing to the north, the arrows showing to the south, the arrows showing to the east, the arrows showing to the west. And when you look too closely, you will see northeast, northwest, southwest, southeast. Then when you look also very, very close, you will see another thing where you will see northwest or northwest. You will find them there in the smaller features. That is to show you exactly where you are at that point. It will bring you closer to your destination. It will make you see that, oh, at this point I am now is this. So many of you have heard about compass. When we were in school, you are using masset, right?
Yes, sir.
And there's something in your masset that is called a compass.
Yes, sir.
What did you use it to do?
Check for directions, degrees.
Good. That is exactly what you are seeing here now. When you measure your compass, you pin it at a point of a line and pin it to the other one, right? Now place it in your ruler and know what it gives you in your ruler. That's exactly what it is, right? Now, this is also how it is. When you are on a ship, the ship moves with this. It is called a compass. So it shows you your direction. At the bottom time, you see what we call scale. You see the scale, and you see that the scale gives you measurement, where you walk in miles or in kilometers. And then when we are moving on the road, there are small pillars that are fixed by the roadside. You will see where they write Ocean 30 or Ocean 10. Some of you will be like, what is all these small pillars talking about? Some people don't know what they are, but that small pillars they put on the road, they will say Ocean 10. That means from where you saw that 10 to Osun State or Osun capital is 10 kilometers. They are on our roads, but we don't observe them. So as a tourist or as a tour guide personnel, you must know all these signs. When you are taking people on a tour, you'll be able to tell them, oh, we are 10 kilometers away from our destination. We are 20 kilometers away from our destination. We are 5 kilometers away from our destination. You will make the journey interesting for them. That is the need for geography in your course. That is why you will study geography, to be able to be a good tourist guide. The same thing happens in your map when you are reading them. You will still see these signs written in the map there, where you see the observation map scale or the definitions of the map scale. You see that it is written there where you see the map key and map scale. Map key and map scale. Map key is where you are seeing the map itself. There are informations that is attached to that map, like hospital, private college, university, public college. All those things will be drawn. Those things are the key to studying the map. You will see all those red, blue, yellow, green. All those things have their definitions. Those things are the map key. Now you see the scales, the map scales. They talk to you about how many miles, how many kilometers you are there. Those are the things the map do for you. Now we have the landmarks, climate and population. When we say landmarks, where you are, Eunice, where do you base?
I base in the east.
Where
But
in east?
Lagos. Yes, sir.
Where in east?
In Ebonyi State.
Okay. Now in Ebonyi, what will you say that is, if I'm coming to Ebonyi, now, what will I see that will make me know that I'm in Ebonyi?
First of all, if you're coming to Ebonyi, you have to go through Enugu, and when you're about entering Ebonyi, you see a signpost, a big signpost where it's written, "Welcome to Ebonyi State."
Okay.
After you left,
No, those are man-made landmarks. I'm looking at natural landmarks, something like rock formation, trees, things that come up on their natural self. Those are what is called landmarks. What can I see now and say, oh, with this sign, I'm in Ebonyi?
okay, the natural landmarks, you will just see plains, large plains filled with rice plantation.
Okay. So now, assuming I'm coming from Enugu, as soon as I start seeing places filled with rice plants and the rest of them, well, I'll tell myself I'm in Ebonyi State.
That you're
Now,
either in Ebonyi or close to Ebonyi State.
good. That is to say, that is a landmark. So landmark is those things that forms the land formation, the land things that can be evident to people. And these things come as rocks, they come as plains, as you have said it now, they come in different points. There can also be plants that can show you, oh, if with this tree here, or with this type of thing here, you are in that place. You have already reached. You have already reached. Those are the things we need to see that makes us see the place. And we also look at the climate. The climate might be the weather condition. It might be the weather condition that you will see. It varies from one place to another. You feel that some places are cold, some other places are hot. You can go to Jos. You see that Jos is very cold. Why, when you come to somewhere in Sokoto, Sokoto is very hot. These are climate changes. They are also part of tourism. Because for you to be a very good tourist or someone who can lead people into tourism activities, you have to be able to identify, oh, the climates of the people. At this time of the year, they will be very cold in this place. This is what the tourists need. At this part of the year, it will be raining in the east. This is what your tourists need. This is why geography is very important. Understanding the climate system, knowing the landmarks, for you to be able to guide the tourists well, for you to be able to plan tours, for you to be able to control the activities you can do as a tourist. Now we have population. You know, population has to determine by the number of people. We say that tourism flourishes because of the people who get involved in it. So we have to know how people can come into tourism, how many people are living in this area, what are the things we can see in this very area. These are the things that contributes to the population. So we have to look at the concentration of people. The human race have lived for a very long time, for over centuries. So you find out that the environment will also be going through changes. The environment will be going through different activities. So these activities is what makes the environment what it is. So many of us have seen that at a point, we might see a beautiful city. Suddenly, that city will start changing. What brings these changes to the city? It might be climatic change. It might be environmental hazards. Something is contributing to it. And as soon as that city is losing its beauty, the possibility of patronage in that city will also stop. Those are the little activities that we need to face and we need to find out in our population. So human population has always contributed to the growth of tourism. And without the human, we cannot be talking about the industrial revolutions. So human activities is very, very important in the growth of the place. And we also look at the agriculture. You know that the arts have been also been into cultivating, like you, Eunice, you are from Ebonyi. And you know that in Ebonyi, we talk about farming. And farming, we look at human activities. As we are looking at the human activities over the time, we're also talking about the influx of machineries. The influx of machineries. And we say that people have their machineries. There are mechanical equipment that is coming into farming these days. And that will bring also revolution. They have their own effect. They have their own contributions into the human activities equally. So the 20th century have seen much things happening in the growth of tourism. And you can see that the population also is increasing tremendously. As the population increases, the tourism activities increase. So there is effect of population to also the development of the hospitality and tourism activities. Having said this now, I think we need to also look at the needful. What is the needful? What do we need to do next? Let's talk about this. Of what importance is geography or the geographers and geography to the development of hospitality and tourism? Of what importance is the geographers and geography to the development of hospitality and tourism? Can we talk about this? I also find out that you people are battling with network. People are coming in and going out. Yes? Eunice, you are there and can still see. The person using Rema, what's your name?
My name is Precious.
Okay, Precious. Now you are back. I see that you have been going in and coming out.
Yeah.
Now you are back. We are talking about the importance of geographers and geography to the development of hospitality and tourism. Well, what do you think that is the importance? Well, is there any importance at all?
Yes, there is.
Let's talk about it. It's talking time.
We do know that the study of geography helps us know the topography of our environment. And this study also helps us while developing our hospitality environment, like our hotels and our resorts and all that. It helps us to be able to know the right location to develop all these hospitality, all these what they call them, hotels and resorts and all that. It helps us to know where the sites, the locations, and it also helps us to put in mind those our guests who are going to be coming into that place. If we can't study the topography of that place with the use of geography, we won't be able to know if the area is really good for human beings to be able to live there.
Okay. That's a very nice view, dear. Eunice,
Yeah.
what would be your view to that? What is the importance of geographers and geography to the development of hospitality and tourism?
Well, the importance is it helps to navigate, it helps the tour guide
Yeah.
or tour operators in the area of tourism to navigate within the location, the locality environment. It gives them direction with the help of maps, and it gives them direction on where to go, and also the um the landscape, the number of kilometers left. It just gives them direction and help them navigate, and also the signs on the map too. It helps them to know the environment, the location, and how to use those signs to their advantage, and also in guiding the guests, and then giving them the history of the environment, and also explaining a lot of things on the environment, the landscape, and everything, the culture about the place. So it's very important to tourists and hospitality industry.
That's very good. I wouldn't also fail to add to you that you heard about the archaeology. I don't know whether you have heard about that word, archaeology.
Yeah.
Now, archaeology is more of studying about the history of things. Where you are, there are things that have happened there. So archaeologists will help us to discover it. They actually find out what has happened in the past. So some of these geographers are part of these archaeologists. And you know that for us to talk about tourism, for us to talk about tourists, for us to talk about the activities of tourism, we must have actually talked about our culture, diversities. What are they coming to see in our place? So like Precious was saying, Precious said it helps us to know, identify what the tourist will be seeing. You know, what tourist sees is very important in our area. Precious, where are you? Where are you staying?
I stay at Auchi.
Good, Auchi in Edo State. Now,
Yes, sir.
if Precious is in Edo State, there are something peculiar to the Auchi people that they keep as their history. Some of these things are monumental. Some of them are discovered. So their archaeology work is part of geography. And this will make people to want to come to Auchi. We want to see what's happening in Auchi. We heard that there is this in Auchi. They want to go and see, right? So those things that is bringing them is what motivates tourists. And people that finds this out are more of these geographers. That is their important to our development. So when they discover, we market. It becomes part of what fetches us money. So they contribute to our development in a very handsome place. And I want to thank you for that contribution. As we go on, we now go to the other side of it, the administration, the hospitality administration. And we are looking at mostly sales at this time. We'll be looking at the marketing. We'll be looking at how sales can improve the industry. So we now say that sales are a very important part of marketing, that goods and services of any organization has to offer. Now, when you say sales, what are we selling? As people in hospitality and tourism, what are we selling?
Service product.
What are your products?
Services like hospitality. hotel.
Can you say hotel?
As in services in hotel.
Okay, such as?
Such as receiving guests, allocating accommodations,
Good.
Food,
Good.
restaurant
Good.
services, many other things.
So you have your product. And in tourism, what is the product?
Tourist services.
Tourist services, such as?
We have our hospitality services.
Yes, in hospitality services, what are we selling? What are we selling?
Okay, we are giving out services to the consumers now, which are our guests. Then we have our tourist sites. We can take them. That's those things that attract tourist attractions. That
Okay.
attracts guests to the location.
Okay. So and our services cannot be replaced. They cannot be quantified. They cannot be kept. So as Eunice said earlier, if we didn't sell our room any night, it perishes. So the hospitality services is not like the goods of somebody in a shop. In our lecture note, we see stationary sales where we can say, okay, we didn't sell these books. Tomorrow we bring them out.
Yeah.
Any night we didn't sell, that night has perished. We cannot bring it back. Do you get it now?
Yes.
So, and each day, our tourist centers are not visited. We are also having loss on those days. So we have to know how to sell our products. She also mentioned food, drinks. These services are not seen. And there are services people cannot give machine to be doing. We are service oriented, human service oriented. Accommodations. We need human being to make the bed, right?
Yes, sir.
And we need human being to clean up the rooms. So we are human service oriented. Unlike other activities in manufacturing, in other, people can actually use machine to do it. But how many machines will you use to decorate a room, clean up a room? This is where our services are highly needed. So those ones will be discussed under recruitment. Now on sales, there are so many methods we involve in sales. These methods include using the billboards, adverts, electronic mediums, such as the televisions and the radio. Today we have the social media. You know, if in the last 10 years, if you will be in Auchi, Eunice says she is in Lagos right now. Kainde joined us from Ibadan. And we are seeing each other, right?
Yes,
in
sir.
the last 10 years, if somebody have told you that you can stay in your location and we'll be seeing each other, you will not believe it.
Yeah.
This is the effect of social media. Now, social media can also be utilized to advertise your businesses. So many of us are on WhatsApp. We are in LinkedIn. We are in Telegram. We are in Instagram. We are in different Facebook. So these mediums can also now serve as a point of advertising your product. And as you are advertising, you'll be looking at which products do we sell, which ones do we market first. So you will have your promotions, you have your tourist promotions, you have your distribution channels, you have your marketing monitoring, and the total marketing plans. All these things, you put it in place to be able to harmonize the market. What you are targeting is just to bring the guests in. Whatever medium you use, your target is to bring the guest in. And as soon as you are bringing your guest in, you do everything to make sure you make the guest to stay. So the sales department have that sole responsibility to make the guests come in, and they cannot do it alone. The sales department must function with other departments to make sure that everything is working according to plan. You know, the sales department also have to know how they are preparing things. You cannot say that you are in sales department and they ask you, what are they marketing? You said you don't know. What are they selling? You don't know. So how do you get those things done? How do you get it done? So you need to put what do I call it now? You need to put yourself in the position where you can sell all the products you have, and them that is selling it, the sales department will always be there to get those sales done, because they know exactly what you are selling in the restaurant. They know exactly what you have in the accommodation. They know exactly how the front office operates. Do we understand it now?
Yes, sir.
So the sales market department influences most of our products, and they sell most of the product. So they are always around to know who is doing what and what are they doing. So the sales department must always be up and doing in their functions. They will always be up and doing in their sales, and they have to attract the customers and retain them. And you can find out that so many customers that comes to a hotel comes as a repeated guest. Are we aware of that? If your hotel will be able to keep your customers, they are coming as repeated guests. And repeated guests will always come when you treat them well. If you don't treat your customers well, they will not come back. And that is what maintains the business of the hospitality and tourism, the repeated guests. And to make your sales department to function very well, you also have to create motivations for them. And those motivations can come as a part of compensation. You can compensate them by giving them a particular target and particular percentage. You can compensate them by rewarding them as staff. You have a staff reward on their payroll and a single factor 25% of what they have done. This will always make them to work more. It will always make them to be more committed. It will always make them to do more things. So as you are looking at it, you now find out that the sales has a lot to do in marketing, and it has a lot to do for us to develop as a people. We are seeing recruitment of human resource. Now, as I said earlier, the hospitality industry is human oriented. We work as human beings and work in this industry. And as we are working as human beings, we cannot say that we will do it alone. So the human resources does employment. As we said from the beginning of the class, the hospitality and tourism industry is the highest employee of labor. And we employ across sectors. We employ across sectors. So we need a human resource to do the following. So the human resource has the ability of attracting, selecting, orienting, training, developing, and evaluating the performance of the organizational personnel. So anything that you are doing is being done by the human resource. You are being employed is the human resource. So the human resource is a complex activities because of the management and the development in the hospitality industry. So the increment, there are a whole lot of unskilled laborers we normally employ. And when we have these unskilled laborers we employ, when we employ, there will still be training, right? As we employ, we train. As we employ, we train. So it is enormous for the human resource persons to do these activities. And we do them from time to time as human resource. So if you look at what you are seeing there, that is the human resource management development process. So you can now see, for them to employ or for employment to take place, one, you need to do what we call tax analysis. What are these people coming to do? What will they do? Do we really need them? So you need to find out that. You also need to look at job description, which is the second thing. What will be their function? What will be their duties when they come? You look at the productivity standard. What will be the measurement? Now, when you are in the industry, there is something you must learn how to do. You must learn how to measure your ability. Your ability must be measured. So whatever you do, is it measurable? How do we know that you are doing what you are supposed to do? How do we know that you are functioning very well? Those are the things you need to do when you are considering the process. Then we also look at the advertising. When they have finished this, they have to do advertising. After the advertising, they actually do the recruitment. When they advertise, they will tell you we need so person with so qualification, we need so person with so thing, so that. Those are adverts. Recruitment, so many people will begin to apply. And as they apply, they begin to do selection. After the selection, they have taken those they want, they do orientation, which is the 7th thing. The 8th, they do training. After that training, they now do performance appraisal. Are they working as they're supposed to do? Are they functioning as they are supposed to function? After which, we do development. So these developments are what functions and what pushes the industry to continue making growth possible as they go, because they are doing assessment and reassessment of the employers. That is why it is very, very necessary. Then these are the recruitment and selection process, because the other one is development, management and development. Now this is recruitment process. You want to recruit. And as you want to recruit where it will be good, and you want to recruit the people that can make it possible for you. Now, in that recruitment process, you are looking at the application form submitted. People have applied. What did they apply for? You need to sort it out. You also look at the initial interview. There is initial interview. They will call you, come and do this. You call. They will ask you some questions. After that, they will tell you you have to have a written test. After that written test, you come for an oral interview. They request your references. They will make the selection and offer. That's when you now have offer of appointment. The next thing you write, an acceptance. And as soon as you write an acceptance, you either agree or you disagree on what they will pay you. So many of us have entered into a job without considering this. As soon as you're in that job, you have agreed that you have accepted the job on the terms they spell out. You don't read your job offers. What you are more interested in is the amount of money they pay you. You don't take time to read the job offer. And because you don't read the job offers, they will use you more than what you have seen because you didn't read the job offer. You just saw that they said they are going to pay 70,000. You rush the job. And inside the job offer, it will tell you that you'll be working for 10, 15 hours. And you didn't see that one. And when you resume, it will be 5 p.m. You went away in the morning and 5 p.m. you want to go. They will tell you in your job offers, we agreed because you have assigned the acceptance. And by that time, you will now find out it is too late for you to back out. So when you have an offer, you need to go through it before you do acceptance. As soon as you do acceptance, there will be physical examination. Now you begin to show yourself, you begin to show your skills, you begin to tell them all those things you have claimed you know and what you claimed you want to do. Those are the processes you go for recruitment. Now, the next thing we are seeing here is sales tools, sales programs, and sales promotions. So when we talk about these tools, sales, as we have heard, are noted in our introduction, is the product of service to which we sell. Therefore, a good hostel administration splits its sales according to the various market targets they have. So when you are doing sales, who are your various targets? Is it association? Is it corporate? Are we doing the catering? These are what we need to ask ourselves. Sometimes the classification might have, some people might be directed to go to the south, north, east, west, according to how we approach the things we are going to do. And what are we going to give them? Is it accommodation? Is it restaurant? We need to distribute according to the needs of what we want to market. We don't just want to say we want to do sales and we'll go there without planning it. We have to plan it out and we have to know how it will favor us that is doing it. So the team have to also know exactly what they are going to sell. As I said earlier, you need to understand what you are going to sell. So we have personal selling as a program. We have personal selling. Under these two, we have sales call, internal sales, training for guards, and contact of employees, telephone. So direct sales. We have the second tools as the direct mail. The direct mail. Under these two, we have questionnaires, we have brochures, we have postcard, envelope, staffers, and calendars to do the direct sales. We have the third tool to sell as a display of advertisement or advertising. Here we have something like newspaper, roadside billboards, signs in the airport, on the strategic places. We have also internal advertising as another tools, where we have the room directories, menu clips, personal sales, message, record advertisement, and the public announcement system. We also have the sponsorship as a tool. And the sponsorship have to do with, we are going to, let's say, for those of us in Auchi now, and we want to market a hotel in Auchi, and that hotel comes out with a sponsor and say, football competition for Auchi. So that football competition, who is sponsoring it? The very hotel you are marketing. It becomes a tool you are using to market that very hotel. Those are the things we need to see. Now we also have the administration and organizational structure of the hotel. And here we also have to consider the size of the hotel, and to which we know as the highest employer of labor. So the human resource goes on to do the processes of selections to employ exactly what we need for the industry. And this will help us to know exactly the people we are going to employ, the primary and the secondary services. Now, if we are employing, we know that no hotel or restaurant or tourism organization is the same. How you function in Auchi and how we function in Lagos or Ebonyi might not be the same. So we employ according to what we need. So the industry is divided into sector or department. So we have the primary service, which is the room, food, and beverages. And this service, you need to employ people for it. The room chambermaids or the housekeepers, the food and beverage, which is the waiters, you have to know the people who are going there. We also talk about the ancillary services, the guest laundry, the valet service, the telephone. You need to have all these people on ground. And the persons that do this is still the human resource personnel. We have the other type of service we need to employ, which is the support service. Now, the support service has to do with the marketing and sales, the property orientation or operation, maintenance, and energy, and the general operation, administration, and accounting. These are the operations we need. So in administration and the structure, for us to have a structure in our organization, we will know exactly the capacity we are building, and that will determine what we are employing. And having said that, I also want us to do a little talking about, as we are listening, what do we do next? Let's look at what we are going to do next. What are we doing next? What is the process of recruiting and selecting? The process of recruiting and selecting. So, you know that this is a vital part of the hospitality industry. So how would you look at this as it applies in the industry? How do we examine it? Mm-hmm. Are we there?
Yes, we are.
So what is the process of recruiting and selection as applied in the hospitality and tourism management?
No, but we
Yes.
number one, we write by advertising.
Process of selecting. I want you to always be cautious of the question. Process of selecting. Yes. Okay, if you are a manager,
Yeah.
and you want to employ,
Yeah.
after you have said advertising, what next?
They will submit the applications.
Applications.
Now I have to call them for interview.
Initial interview.
Yeah, initial interview.
Yes.
And after that, then test.
Testing, good.
And after the test, I'll call them for a written interview, another interview.
An oral interview this time.
An oral interview.
Good.
Then after that oral interview, I would now call them. I would now give them an offer. That's
selection and offer. Okay.
Then they would now have to write an acceptance letter.
Good.
And that's it.
Good. So, Eunice, would you want to have a view or another view to this process of recruitment and selection?
Well, so following the chart, it's advertisement of the job the job availability. Then we go to application, receiving of application. Then after that we go to test,
Okay.
which includes written and oral.
Okay.
After that we go to offer. Then the company gives, or the hotel gives the candidate the offer, what they are offering, of which the candidate would go through and accept. Then we get to the acceptance, then we get to the recruitment proper.
All right.
That with training and all that. Yeah.
Okay, what I just wanted to achieve is to make sure that you are with me in the class. I want you to always read your materials. I try to break these materials for you, how it will be easy for you to understand the points. It's all in your email. I will try this week, either today or tomorrow, to publish all the emails of your colleagues on the WhatsApp and the Telegram, so that you people can look at it and maybe contact them personally. We are supposed to have selected a course representative. As of this week, we have 33 people from all over the country. And in the class, it's only 4 people that have been showing. Last week, Eunice was there. This week, I'm seeing Precious. Precious, this is your first time?
Yes, sir.
Good. And we have 2 weeks gone. So you have to go to the facilitation wall, see what we have done before. Make sure you listen to the recorded lectures. Acquaint yourself with what we are doing. It's going to be very important. And don't think that it's me that is doing everything. Your HOD will be listening to this lecture, and from there, they will also be setting your questions. So that wall I'm redirecting you to, they are also accessed to that wall. Your exams department, the IT sector is also accessed there. So as you have access to a facilitation wall, so as other people have access to it, not only me. So it's open to me to upload all these things we are doing. As soon as we finish this lecture, it will be uploaded. So I want all of you to be up and doing, as I also want to appreciate you people for attending this class today. So I say thank you for coming, and we will continue our class next week. Remember, I have said that we will be doing our class twice in a week from next week. We'll be doing twice a week. So I hope by that next week, we'll have a lot to do. And I continue to see what we can do to better and have more participating class. So I wish you well for attending, and God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.